All right, good morning. I just want to give a quick overview of investigation 3.3 C, which asks us to find a pair of numbers whose least common multiple is the product of those numbers, and then also to find a pair of numbers whose least common multiple is less than the product of those two numbers. I'm going to start out by using 12 and 25. Okay, and if you'll notice in problem B, the book tells us that 12 and 25 are relatively prime. And that is because when we do our prime factorization of these two numbers, 12 is 2 times 2 times 3, and 25 is a square number, so that's 5 times 5. We can see that there's no prime factors in common, right? There's only 2's and 3's over here, and there's only 5's over here. So we're going to call these relatively prime. Okay, and if we draw our chart with 3 compartments, like we did when we're trying to find greatest common factor and least common multiple, all right, we can see that since there's nothing in common, nothing goes in this middle part. So the greatest common factor is just going to be 1, because we know that 1 is a common factor for all integers, right? And then on the left side, we're going to have 2 times 2 times 3, and on the right side, 5 times 5. So the least common multiple is just going to be equal to the prime factorization for 12, which is 12, times the prime factorization for 25, which is 25, times 1. So the least common multiple is going to be equal to the product of those two numbers. Okay? Now we can see any number that we do have a greatest common factor greater than 1, anytime that we do have common factors, one of these common factors is going to be pulled down into there, and it's going to make the number, the least common multiple, less than the product of those two numbers. We can see that in the number that we tried earlier, right? So here we have 2 2's, but we only took 1. We have another 2 2's, but we only took 1 more. We have 2 3's, but we only took 1. So we're leaving out 1 2 here. We're leaving out 1 3 there from this middle number. So the least common multiple is going to be less than the product of these two numbers. Least common multiple here is 120. 24 times 60, if you want to multiply it, go ahead, but I guarantee you it's less than 120. Thanks.